Picture this. A massive Tyrannosaurus rex towers over a lush forest clearing, its jaws open wide, unleashing a roar that shakes the ground. Herds of horned dinosaurs scatter as the apex predator gives chase, its muscular legs pounding the earth. For millions of years, T-Rex and its kin ruled the land, unmatched in power and dominance. Yet today, the only way we see one is in museums or movies. Why? Because 66 million years ago, an asteroid the size of a mountain slammed into Earth and ended their reign in a fiery instant. But here is the question that sparks wonder. What if that asteroid had missed? What if the skies had stayed clear, the continents had remained lush with dinosaurs, and the Tyrannosaurus rex had never gone extinct? The thought is not just fantasy. It is a doorway into an alternate history, a vision of a planet where the world we know today does not exist. No humans walking on city streets, no mammals rising to become dominant. Instead, a world still under the shadow of giants. The extinction event was one of the greatest turning points in Earth's history. It ended the age of dinosaurs and began the age of mammals. Without that asteroid, the path of evolution could have been entirely different. Perhaps mammals would have stayed small, forever hiding in the shadows. Perhaps reptiles would have continued to grow more intelligent, developing abilities that rival what we see in humans. Or perhaps Tyrannosaurus rex itself would have adapted in ways we cannot even imagine. This story is not about what did happen, but about what might have happened. It is about imagining how ecosystems, predators, prey, and even intelligence itself would have evolved in a world where the king of the dinosaurs never lost its throne. It is about exploring a world that is both alien and familiar, one where the ground still shakes under the footsteps of a predator that never surrendered its rule. So, what would the Earth look like today if Tyrannosaurus rex had never gone extinct? To answer that, we must first return to the world it once ruled, to understand what it was before imagining what it could have become. To imagine what T-Rex might have become, we need to understand the world it dominated. 66 million years ago, during the late Cretaceous period, North America was split by a shallow inland sea. On one side stretched dense forests, swamps, and river valleys. On the other, wide open plains rolled toward the horizon. The air was warmer, the climate humid, and plant life flourished in ways very different from today. This was the world of Tyrannosaurus rex. At more than 12 meters long and weighing close to 9 tons, it was the undisputed top predator of its ecosystem. Its skull was massive, armed with teeth the size of bananas, capable of crushing bone with a bite force stronger than any living animal. Its legs were powerful, carrying its bulk across the ground at surprising speed. Its senses were keen. With forward-facing eyes, T-Rex could see in 3 dimensions, giving it excellent depth perception. Its nose was so sensitive it could detect prey from miles away. T-Rex shared its world with a wide variety of dinosaurs. There were herds of hadrosaurs, the duck-billed plant-eaters that roamed in groups for safety. There were armored ankylosaurs with tails like clubs, and great horned ceratopsians like triceratops, which used their horns and frills both for defense and for displays during mating rituals. The landscape was alive with constant battles of predator and prey. This was not just a world of giants, though. Small mammals already existed, but they were no more than nocturnal insect eaters. They scurried through the undergrowth, living in the shadows of their colossal reptilian overlords. Reptiles ruled the land, the sea, and the air. Pterosaurs soared overhead, and mosasaurs hunted in the seas. In such a world, mammals had little chance to rise. For tens of millions of years, this balance endured. Dinosaurs like T-Rex were not declining, they were thriving. The asteroid was not cutting down a fading empire. It was striking a civilization of animals at their peak. To imagine a world where T-Rex survived is to imagine that this empire continued. The age of dinosaurs was not cut short, it simply kept going. Now let us remove the asteroid. No fiery impact, no sky filled with ash, no months of cold and darkness that choked the life out of plants and starved the dinosaurs that fed on them. Instead, the Cretaceous world rolls forward uninterrupted. The forests continue to grow, the herds of hadrosaurs and triceratops keep multiplying, and Tyrannosaurus rex still stalks them with terrifying efficiency. In this alternate world, dinosaurs remain dominant. With ecosystems intact, predators like T-Rex expand into new territories. Populations spread across continents, adapting to different climates and landscapes. Some evolve larger bodies, others develop new hunting strategies. The evolutionary tree of tyrannosaurs branches further, producing forms we can only speculate about. Perhaps slimmer, faster species emerge to hunt smaller prey. Perhaps bulkier, more armored forms arise to challenge the toughest herbivores. Mammals, meanwhile, stay in the shadows. Without the extinction of dinosaurs, there is no empty space for them to expand into. They remain small, nocturnal, and insignificant, nibbling insects and seeds while reptiles tower above them. The evolutionary path that once led to primates, apes, and eventually humans never begins. The planet itself might look familiar, with forests, rivers, and mountains, but its rulers are different. Imagine standing in what is now North America and seeing herds of triceratops grazing like modern bison, with tyrannosaurs lurking at the edges of forests, ready to strike. Imagine the skies filled not with birds, but with massive pterosaurs, their wings casting shadows over the land. This is not our Earth. It is a parallel version, one where mammals never had their chance. Such a world raises questions. Would intelligence ever have emerged? Would reptiles have developed larger brains, greater communication, or even social structures? Or would dominance by strength alone have kept the world locked in cycles of predator and prey? Whatever the answer, one truth is clear. Without the asteroid, the Earth would still be a dinosaur planet, and at its heart, the Tyrannosaurus rex would still be king. Scientists have speculated on what dinosaurs might have become if they had not gone extinct. Some argue that tyrannosaurs like T-Rex would have continued as apex predators, adapting as their prey evolved. With millions of years of uninterrupted evolution, they may have developed sleeker bodies, longer legs, or even more efficient hunting techniques. Others suggest that some dinosaurs were already showing signs of increased intelligence and social behavior. Troodontids, small feathered predators, had relatively large brains for their size. If such trends had continued, could we have seen reptiles evolve forms of intelligence that rival humans? In this alternate history, perhaps creatures descended from dinosaurs would have developed tools, communication, and even societies. Another fascinating theory involves feathers. Many dinosaurs already had them, not just for flight, but also for insulation and display. Over millions of years, perhaps even T-Rex might have evolved with partial feather coverings, especially in colder climates. A feathered tyrant lizard, adapted to new environments, could have been one of evolution's masterpieces. Of course, there are limits. Dinosaurs were constrained by their body plans. A T-Rex would not suddenly evolve into a thinker or toolmaker, but smaller dinosaurs might have carried that potential. If reptiles had taken the path toward intelligence, humans might never have appeared. Instead, Earth could be home to civilizations of reptilian beings, descended from the ruling giants of the Cretaceous. The beauty of this speculation is not in certainty, but in possibility. Evolution is a story of chance, shaped by survival and circumstance. The asteroid ended one story and began another. Without it, the story would have taken a very different turn. In our real history, the extinction of the dinosaurs cleared the stage for mammals. Freed from competition, they grew larger, diversified, and spread into every habitat. From them came primates, then apes, and eventually humans. But in a world where Tyrannosaurus rex survived, that path is blocked. Mammals remain tiny, unremarkable creatures. They hide in burrows, scavenge scraps, and avoid the massive predators that dominate above. Without space to expand, they never evolve into larger forms. There are no horses running across plains, no elephants roaming savannas, and certainly no humans building cities. The evolutionary opportunities that shaped us simply do not exist. This alternate history challenges us to imagine what life might look like today. Would reptiles have filled those roles instead? Perhaps herbivorous dinosaurs would have become the grazers of Great Plains, while predators like T-Rex remained hunters. Perhaps some smaller dinosaurs would have evolved greater intelligence, creating a world where reptilian species, not mammals, explored technology and culture. For humans, the asteroid impact was both destruction and creation. It wiped out the dinosaurs but gave our ancestors the chance to rise. Without it, we would not be here to wonder about what might have been. The T-Rex's survival would mean our absence. The question of what might have happened if Tyrannosaurus rex had never gone extinct is not just fantasy. It is a way of understanding how fragile and random history can be. One asteroid changed the world forever. It ended the reign of dinosaurs and began the age of mammals. Without that moment, the Earth would not be ours. It would still belong to the giants. Speculating about this alternate history reminds us of how much chance shapes our existence. We owe our very presence to a cosmic accident, a rock from space that altered the balance of life. It is humbling to imagine that, had it missed, humans might never have walked the Earth. Instead, a world of colossal reptiles, still led by the Tyrannosaurus rex, would stretch across the continents. These reflections raise powerful questions. Would you want to live in such a world? Would you dare to walk in a forest where the shadow of T-Rex still stalked the land? Or would you prefer the fragile history that gave rise to us? The asteroid strike was a catastrophe, but also the beginning of our story. Without it, our world would never have been born, which makes us wonder, what other cosmic accidents lie in the future? What new chapters of evolution are still waiting to be written? Stay curious, because the story of life is full of turning points. And one of the greatest of all was the day the Tyrannosaurus rex lost its crown.